Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video on eyeliner, and there are a million videos on YouTube showing you how to do the perfect winged liner and all this, but I'm going to be doing it specifically for people who have creases like mine. I'll show you, I'll zoom in. So where the crease carries on right down to the corner of the eye, so it does kind of get in the way of where your wing would be. I have a very awkward crease because I've like three little lines, so doing things like cut creases and things like that can be a bit difficult, and I've even less space here, if you can see, between the fold and the corner of my eye. So I'm just going to kind of be talking about how I would get around that and how I would do liner with this kind of crease. So I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to be doing this using gel liner, and I'm going to use the Maybelline Eye Studio Lasting Drama gel liner in 01 Black. Just looks like this in a little glass pot. With that Maybelline gel liner, I'm going to be using the brush that comes with it, and it just looks like that. So it has a nice fine tip, but it's tapered, so I like that I can kind of control it to get a thicker or thinner line. So what I do is I just dip the brush in the pot on both sides, coat both sides, and then I kind of smooth it out on the side of the jar just to get rid of any lumps or bumps in the gel. So I'm just going to line the lash line first, just as a standard liner. Okay, so for doing the wing, you have kind of two options. Well, you've three options, say. You could do a wing where you're cutting under the fold line, and that'll give you more of a straight out wing, which sometimes I do, or a lot of times I do, because it's a little bit quicker. I don't have to take as much time. It mightn't be the exact desired effect I want, but it is quicker. Your second option is to just do a line as if there was no fold there. So if you stretch up your eyebrows and kind of look down into the mirror, you get rid of the fold and you just do your winged liner. This will mean that when you look down or when you blink, it will be a smooth line, but when you're looking straight ahead, it's going to be jagged. The fold is going to cut into it. So if you prefer that the line itself is straight, or is smooth rather, and that you can see that when you blink or look down, you can do that. If you want it to be a smooth line when you're looking ahead, then this is what you could do. So I'm going to be using just the tip of the brush, where it's just a little fine tip, and kind of plotting the underneath of where you want your wing. So just plot it in, and you can cut through your fold if you need to, and then we'll carry on from there. So I've just plotted in that initial line there using the very tip of the brush, and just softly patting it along in the line I want. And next you want to join the outer corner to meet your liner by again plotting it in with the fine tip of the brush, just gently plotting in that line. So you can again cut over the crease if you need to. So I've joined in the outer corner to my liner, and I've cut through a fold there, if you can see. And if I tilt back, you can see that it's kind of created like this dip. It goes straight up across and then it dips down into the liner. So that's the effect that you're going to have with your liner when you look down or when you blink. It won't be just a smooth line, there'll be a dip in it into the liner. So I'm just going to fill in that triangle or that shape there with the liner. So as you can see there, it gives the effect that the line is just continuing on smoothly, but when you do look down or blink, there will be that dip there. And as you can see, I've cut through a little fold there. So then once you have that shape in, you can kind of smooth out your lines a bit more. If you want to take your brush and you know, come along from here and then smooth that down into the liner just to get rid of any jaggedness or skips in the liner. So there you go, you could keep perfecting it and smoothing out if you like, to however you want it to look. But that's how I go about doing a winged liner if I want it to have that smooth effect and kind of have it more uplifted, rather than just going straight out underneath the crease. So again, I'll just show you the dip there that it creates when you blink or when you look down, just so you know. And when you're connecting or when you're smoothing out the line, say from this point to this point, this line here, the dip, you want to make sure that you don't, you're not smoothing out and bringing the line in to meet, say further along on the liner, if that makes sense. So if I was smoothing this out and just drawing down here, that I don't bring it out here. So it will create a thicker line out here where you've brought it in, but this point is going to stay the same, so you're going to create a dip down here. So that's just another little thing. You'll discover it yourself if you try. When you're practicing, you know, you might bring it in too far, you might mess up your lines, your points, and you'll discover these things. But just plotting over the folds and then connecting the dots basically and filling it in. Another tip that I probably should have showed on this eye is using a angled brush. This is a very fine one, fine synthetic angled brush from Crown. This is the IB 132 Stiff Brow from the Italian Badger line. And because the angled brush, say, is going to give you that line if you stamp it down, it's a little quicker plotting in your lines because you just kind of stamp it over the fold. So say here, I'm just plotting in my regular line there. You can just kind of stamp it down to create the line you want. I should look in the mirror really. And then when you're plotting in your line up here, you can just kind of stamp it again. I'm trying to do this in the viewfinder now, but you get what I mean, that it's a line so you don't have to be dabbing along and trying to get your line straight. This will give you your straight line. So I probably should use this in the initial eye, but yeah, that's another tip. Now on this eye, I'll just show you cutting through say more than one fold. You will maybe need to do a couple of, you will rather get a couple of dips, so you'll need to smooth them out. So here, I don't know if you can see now that it's covered in black, but I'm actually cutting through two folds there, so I'm getting like two little dips in it. But say from this dip to this dip, when you relax your eye, you can't see what's in between, so I'm just going to be joining those up. So you might look at it at first and go, oh god, that's going to look awful when I look down. You can kind of just join those up to just the points where you can see. So just remember that when your eyes are relaxed, you can't see what's in between there, so you can join those up. So there you just get that one line in the dip once you join it up. And I was just going over the lines with the Maybelline brush again, because I found that with a synthetic angle like this, you can kind of see how the little brushes are coming together with the gel. So you end up getting little dots from that, and it's not just a perfect smooth line. So you can run over and create a line, but if you're doing such a small little area, sometimes there's not enough room to be really pulling, and if you don't want too big of a line, there's not enough room to really be pulling it along. So I've kind of moved back to this one just for smoothing out those lines and just making it smooth. So you may notice that I did take this one up a little more elevated, a little more straight, because I wanted to cut through multiple folds just to show you that little the little step of joining those dips. I hope this video made sense to you. I know that if you have this kind of crease where it comes down low, you'll understand the frustration that goes with doing winged liner. So I hope this helped some of you out anyway, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye!